The Golden Age of Piracy wasn't a random eruption of lawlessness, it was a product of its time. The burgeoning trade routes, especially those connecting Europe to the Americas and the East Indies, created a wealth of maritime traffic ripe for plunder. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713, which ended the War of the Spanish Succession, left thousands of privateers unemployed, their wartime skills and experience readily transferable to piracy. The social and economic conditions of the era also played a significant role. Harsh conditions aboard merchant and naval vessels, coupled with low wages and brutal discipline, drove many sailors to seek a more lucrative and independent life. Pirate ships, in contrast, often operated on democratic principles, with crews electing their captains and dividing spoils fairly. This sense of autonomy and equality appealed to those seeking escape from the rigid hierarchies of traditional maritime society. The political instability of the Caribbean, with its numerous islands and hidden coves, provided ideal havens for pirates. Colonial authorities, often corrupt or underfunded, struggled to maintain order, creating a vacuum that pirates readily filled. The Golden Age of Piracy, a period roughly spanning the late 17th and early 18th centuries, was a time of maritime lawlessness, fueled by political turmoil, economic opportunity, and the allure of unfettered freedom. Amidst the vast expanse of the seas, a rogues gallery of notorious pirates emerged, their names echoing through history as symbols of terror and adventure. While many plundered and pillaged, a select few rose to infamy, their cunning, brutality, and audacity setting them apart as the most dangerous pirates of their era. You're right. Let's expand upon the Golden Age of Piracy and its most dangerous figures, delving deeper into the social and economic context, the pirates' tactics, and their lasting cultural impact. The Crucible of Piracy, a world in flux. The Golden Age of Piracy wasn't a random eruption of lawlessness. It was a product of its time. The burgeoning trade routes, especially those connecting Europe to the Americas and the East Indies, created a wealth of maritime traffic ripe for plunder. The Treaty of Utrecht in 1713, which ended the War of the Spanish Succession, left thousands of privateers unemployed, their wartime skills and experience readily transferable to piracy. The social and economic conditions of the era also played a significant role. Harsh conditions aboard merchant and naval vessels, coupled with low wages and brutal discipline, drove many sailors to seek a more lucrative and independent life. Pirate ships, in contrast, often operated on democratic principles, with crews electing their captains and dividing spoils fairly. This sense of autonomy and equality appealed to those seeking escape from the rigid hierarchies of traditional maritime society. The political instability of the Caribbean, with its numerous islands and hidden coves, provided ideal havens for pirates. Colonial authorities, often corrupt or underfunded, struggled to maintain order, creating a vacuum that pirates readily filled. Tactics of terror and triumph. The pirates of the Golden Age were not simply opportunistic thieves. They were skilled strategists and tacticians. They understood the importance of psychological warfare, using fear and intimidation to subdue their victims. Blackbeard's theatrical displays of ferocity, for example, often resulted in ships surrendering without a fight. Pirate ships were often heavily armed and maneuverable, allowing them to outgun and outmaneuver their opponents. They employed a variety of tactics, including boarding, broadside attacks, and the use of fireships. They were experts at navigating the treacherous waters of the Caribbean and the Atlantic, using their knowledge of currents and coastlines to their advantage. The pirates also developed a sophisticated system of intelligence gathering, using informants and spies to track the movements of merchant ships. They often targeted specific vessels known to carry valuable cargo, maximizing their returns. Beyond the stereotype, the complexities of pirate life. While the popular image of pirates is one of bloodthirsty rogues, their lives were often more complex. Pirate crews were diverse, comprising men of various nationalities, races, and social backgrounds. They often formed close bonds, creating a sense of community and belonging. Pirate codes, or articles, governed the conduct of life on board their ships. These codes often included provisions for fair distribution of spoils, compensation for injuries, and care for the wounded. They also prohibited fighting among crew members and imposed strict penalties for disobedience. Blackbeard, real name Edward Thatch, the master of psychological warfare. Edward Teach, better known as Blackbeard, stands as a figure of unparalleled menace. His imposing physical presence, accentuated by his thick black beard braided with ribbons and lit with slow-burning fuses during battle, was a weapon in itself. He understood the power of psychological warfare, cultivating an image of demonic ferocity to intimidate his victims into surrender. Blackbeard's flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, a formidable vessel armed with 40 cannons, was a symbol of his power. He operated primarily in the Caribbean and along the eastern coast of North America, terrorizing merchant ships and coastal settlements. His strategic brilliance was evident in his ability to blockade Charleston, South Carolina, demanding and receiving a ransom in exchange for the city's safety. While his reputation for brutality was undeniable, Blackbeard was also a shrewd leader. He maintained discipline among his crew, ensuring the smooth operation of his piratical enterprise. His sudden and violent demise at the hands of Lieutenant Robert Maynard in 1718 marked the end of an era, but his legend continued to haunt the seas. Bartholomew Roberts, Black Bart, the ruthless and disciplined pirate Bartholomew Black Bart. Roberts, despite his relatively short pirate career, achieved remarkable success, capturing more than 400 vessels. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Roberts was known for his strict discipline and strategic acumen. He enforced a code of conduct among his crew, prohibiting gambling and fighting on board his ships. Roberts was a master navigator and tactician, capable of outmaneuvering and overwhelming his opponents. He preferred swift and decisive attacks, often relying on his superior firepower and maneuverability to secure his prizes. He operated across the Atlantic, from the Caribbean to the coast of Africa, establishing a reputation as a ruthless and efficient pirate. His flagship, the Royal Fortune, was a testament to his wealth and power. Roberts was also known for his flamboyant style, often dressing in rich silks and adorned with jewels. His death in 1722, during a battle with the Royal Navy, brought an end to his reign of terror, but his legacy as one of the most successful pirates in history remained. Henry Every, Long Ben, the elusive and wealthy pirate. Henry Every, also known as Long Ben, was a master of deception and elusiveness. His most infamous exploit was the capture of the Ganges Sawai, a Mughal treasure ship, one of the wealthiest pirate hauls in history. This single act catapulted him to international notoriety and made him one of the most sought-after criminals of his time. Every's ability to assemble and maintain a multinational pirate fleet demonstrated his leadership and charisma. He was skilled at manipulating his crew and forming alliances with other pirate captains. Following the capture of the Mughal treasure ship, Every managed to disappear, evading capture and retiring with his vast wealth. The mystery surrounding his final years and the location of his treasure has fueled speculation and legend for centuries. Anne Bonny and Mary Red, the fearless female pirates. Anne Bonny and Mary Red challenged the conventions of their time, defying societal expectations and embracing the dangerous life of piracy. They sailed alongside Calico Jack Rackham, earning reputations as fierce and capable pirates. Their presence on board pirate ships was a testament to their courage and determination. They were known for their skill with weapons and their willingness to fight alongside the men. Their actions highlighted the fact that piracy was not exclusive to men. When captured, they pleaded their bellies being pregnant, which delayed their execution. These are only a few of the many dangerous pirates that patrolled the seas during the Golden Age of Piracy. The factors that fueled this era of lawlessness and the lasting impressions that these individuals made forever shaped the image of the romanticized but violent pirates.